Hi, so my name's Sweets Lewis, and today I want to speak to you about investing. I've been investing actively in the stock market for a year now, and I'm kind of creating this video for the old me and maybe for yourself, someone who doesn't really know much about the stock market. And I basically just want to share things I've learned along my journey and help you a bit. I wish so much that I documented it from the beginning. Like, I think it would have been so great, but I didn't. And I kind of put a poll out on my Instagram asking if people wanted me to do a video on investing. And I had a load of people say that they did. So here I am doing a video. I'm not like a regular YouTuber. I don't do content on YouTube at all, really. So sorry if this is really bad. But if it is of value, please like the video and drop a comment if there's any other content that you'd like to see from myself. And yeah, if you like it that much, maybe even I could push for a little subscribe, because I'm trying to build up my subscribers. But yeah. Investing, or should I say the stock market? The stock market was something that I was a bit fearful of, scared of. I didn't really know, understand. People speak about Forex and stuff as well. I kind of had Forex in my mind with the stock market. They were all paired together, investing, traders, all of it was paired together. But one thing I know now is the stock market makes a lot of people wealthy. The richest people in the world are rich because of the stock market, whether it's because the company's public and people have invested and created a space in which the company is able to expand, or just them personally having their own shares in the stock market and it growing. Warren Buffett was once the richest. Can't remember the year that he was the richest man in the world, and he's literally built up his wealth, majority of his wealth, off of the stock market. I guess what's important to me and why I wanted to create a video is because becoming financially free, becoming wealthy, like, the stock market is a way that the average person, if they live below their means, like have a decent paying job, live below their means and invest, they can create wealth on the stock market. And it's available to everyone. In 2021, there's apps available now that you're able to just invest straight into the stock market. So without further ado, I'm going to start with my road to investing. I originally just saw an advert on the tube, and I saw a few adverts for it, but it was for an app called Moneybox. Moneybox was a good app at the time. It's not the app that I used throughout the last year, but Moneybox introduced me to the stock market, I guess. With Moneybox, you basically put money into your Moneybox account, and Moneybox will invest the money that you put into the stock market. You choose the account which is based on your appetite to risk. Obviously, if you've got a low appetite to risk, it's a low risk and low reward. And then if it's a higher risk, it will be higher reward in regards to sort of the percentages that you can expect on the return for your investment. I basically originally input in £1,000, and then what Moneybox also do is you connect your debit card to Moneybox, and when you spend money, they round it up to the nearest pound. So, for example, if you spent 75 pence, Moneybox would round it up to the pound, and then they'd invest the 25p into the stock market. And that made me realize that you didn't really need a lot of money to invest in the stock market. And it's when I started kind of building up my trust for the stock market. The same year I started investing, at the end of that year, this happened, which I wasn't impressed about. And yeah, that was like my dream car at one stage, and I really loved that car. But at the time I was working from home and I didn't need to drive, so I decided that I wasn't going to replace my car, and I put my I put the money that I got from my car when I was paid out from insurance, I put it into a savings account. At this time, my Moneybox account my money was working for me in my Moneybox account, so I was getting a little bit of a return on my Moneybox account. I think I had like a few £100 from the money that I had in there. So after a couple of months, I decided, let me move the money that I had in my savings account over to Moneybox. So I moved that over, and things were going great. I think I got up to like being in the plus like £2,000. And then in 2020 March, the stock market crashed. I went from being plus £2,000 to being minus £1,800. I was devastated. It was a stressful time. I just couldn't believe it, because I was thinking, like, basically it was just horrible. it was like, obviously I used the money from my car, so it was like I didn't get the correct money from my car. But at the time, I decided to stick with it. There was a part of me that was saying, like, just take your money out, because obviously when it was up, I've watched it, I kept on checking my account, and I'm just seeing it go down, but then it went into the minus, and then I just thought it was written off, and I kind of had it in my head that I'd lost that money. But over time, it started recovering, and then I realized, like, wow, like, if you don't sell your investment during a crash, and the companies and the fundamentals, or whatever you're invested in stays the same, remains the same, it can recover in due course. And I saw that in the 2 months. So then from there, I had more trust in the stock market. So if I just rewind so this was March times, March, April, when it started recovering. So then if I go back to January of that year, which is January of 2020, that was when I attended a finance seminar ran by Eman. It was amazing. On that seminar, he spoke about investing in the stock market, and then my ears perked up. One of the apps he mentioned was MoneyBots, which I was already using, but he said that better apps to use and which you control and can pick your own stocks were Freetrade, and Trading 212 was the other one. Freetrade is much better for if you're like a first-time investor. Like, it's just the easiest layout. It's clear, and you won't get confused. Like, Trading 212 first time round is a bit confusing. Freetrade is the app that I used last year predominantly to do my active investing. If you want to get Freetrade, I'm still going to speak about this, but if you want to get Freetrade, I've put a link in my description, and if you click on the link and you sign up and deposit, I think it's £10 into your account, you'll get a free share worth from £5 to £200, I believe, and that will be a great start to your investing, because obviously if you get a free share, even if you get a £2 share, like, you're going to be up £2 from your investing, so that's great. So I think the best way for me to show you investing is to show you my portfolio and some of the investments that I made over the last year. If you're actively investing, that's picking individual stocks. You have to do your own research. You have to look at the fundamentals of a company and just read up a ton loads. Like, you need to know what you're investing in and like why and how you believe this company is going to grow. An alternative is investing in ETFs, which are exchange traded funds. These essentially are funds which consist of loads of companies. One is like the S&P 500, which has got like the top 500 companies in the USA. It basically averages out percentage-wise. I think the average return annually on the S&P 500 is like 8%. So it's better than you'll get from a bank, put it that way. But some years you'll be in the minus, but like consistently it will be 8%. On average. SMT Trust is the Scottish Mortgage Trust, and that's my favourite UK ETF. Yeah, I think that their return last year was like, on 2020 was 100%. So I think it's time for me to get my history up. So let me see if I can get my screen recording on, not my timer, my screen recording. So this is inside the Freetrade app. I started off by investing £10, £5 and then £150. Centamin was my first investment. Then I bought Boohoo shares. Basically, I just thought that Boohoo were going to keep on growing and expanding. Obviously, they acquired Pretty Little Thing and a couple other companies, and I was seeing loads of people in tops that said man on them and Boohoo, so I thought, yeah, that would be a great investment. At this stage, I wasn't really taking my investing that much that seriously. And one thing I must say as well, if you're investing, a typical investor looks to invest for 3 to 5 years. It's like a long-term investment, not short-term. So yeah. Anyway, February I purchased some Lloyd shares. I think that's just because I had change in my account. March I didn't get any shares because at that time it was a horrible place. My accounts were just down. April's when it started recovering, and I started trusting the stock market a bit more and thinking that I might be able to make this thing go somewhere. Coca-Cola, JD Sports, a lot of these stocks I was investing in at this time were recovery stocks. Obviously the coronavirus was affecting the stock market and a lot of stocks were down, so I was kind of banking on these stocks to recover, and that was my reason for investing in a load of these, like Hollywood Bowl, for example, Cineworld, and that was a dividend payment. So with my shares with Shell, I can't remember what the exact percentages, but basically there are some companies which are dividend paying, which basically means that if you invest with them, they'll give you a percentage of your investment back. It's periodically, it differs from company to company. There's a ton of stuff about dividends on YouTube, so if you just search it, I'm sure you'll be able to find loads of stuff. My Coca-Cola dividend, which great, I just reinvested it into other companies. And then, I think this is when I started taking my investing a bit more serious. And S&P 500, as I was saying to you, ETF, Disney, AMD, all of these companies I were investing in, and this was NEO, or this is NEO, should I say. This was my first position. I purchased in NEO on the 13th of August. I put £2.40 in, and the share price was $13.36. And then I purchased Gap, Tesla, Berkshire and Hathaway, just a load of companies. At this time, I was just all over the place. Anything that I thought was going to do well, going to do good, I was invested in. But I was realizing that I had like 22, I think it was like 22 or 25 stocks. And I realized that diversification wasn't working in my favor, because I had a stock that was up like 80%, one was up 50%, one was up 20%, and then I had stocks that were down. And I realized that my money was like in so many different pots that it just wasn't working for me. So at this stage, I think I started trying to shrink my portfolio down. So I think I may start seeing some selling, not just buying. I was buying a load of shares. Again, another dividend from Shell in September. So this is when I start selling. So I sold these shares. I can't go into like what profit. Like a lot of them I sold were in profit, but some of them I sold at a loss because I was putting them into my star stock, which I believed was going to be making the most gains in the future. And that is NEO. NEO is my biggest position now, currently as like investment wise. I started selling a load of companies and buying NEO like consistently back to back. Like you'll just see NEO. I think JD Sports had it at the time. AO World was the only two companies I had in my portfolio were AO World and NEO, which I wasn't sure which one was going to outperform in like the foreseeable future. But AO World got to a point that it reached its maximum. I think I invested like £900 odd, and then it was my first like 100% investment. So I sold that, and then I put the money into NEO, and then I started putting loads of money into NEO, and NEO is my main investment now. At the latter end of me investing, I made a conscious decision. At the time, I was looking for a property with my missus. We're getting halves, both had our sort of deposit saved up. But I was getting some gains in the stock market, and I made a conscious decision to delay the whole idea of us getting a property and for us just to take our investing a bit more seriously. And my long-term goal and my long-term plan is to purchase a property outright, but bigger than that, it's to seek financial freedom. Like that is the ultimate goal, is financial freedom, to kind of live the life that we want. It's not about material stuff. As I said earlier on in the video, like living below your means, like that is the way forward. And I wanted to create this content because I'm a strong believer with investing in the stock market. It provides the average person, as long as they're on like a reasonable wage, they can become financially free. They can become wealthy. So I started my account 0, and then I put in my 15 and my 100 and something odd, and then it sort of went down. And then this was March. This is when the crash happened, around the 18th, I think it was. Yeah. And then it went down to 89, and then as you can see, it starts sort of kind of recovering, and then that's when I start investing like a load more money. And this was when I started thinking about putting off buying a property, and yeah, this is my portfolio and the journey of my portfolio, really. I only have 2 shares in this portfolio. That is Neo, which is my. I've gone against the rules. I should be diversified. That's what they told me to do. But I've put my eggs in one basket, and that's just because I believe in Neo. I may make a video on why I've gone so hard in Neo. But yeah, as you can see, I've invested just over £20,000, which was going to be my deposit for my house, and I'm up by £22,000 in that time. As I said, I wish I documented this so I could kind of show you what made a bit of money and what didn't. But ultimately, it's been like Neo's been a serious investment. I've got 1,000 shares in Neo, so like that's my biggest position. But yeah, I wanted to just be transparent, and it's not a case of like, I know finance and money is not something that we really talk about a lot, and people aren't really open with how much money they have in accounts and stuff. But I just thought the best way for me to show my investment journey was to show my account. I've also got another account with Trading 212, which I purchased in penny stock with, that's done really well. So I may actually do portfolio and updates on my Trading 212 account. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this content, and I hope it's been of value to you. Please like, share, subscribe, and put in the comments what kind of content you'd like from me, if you've liked the content, if you've enjoyed the content. And yeah, as I said earlier, you can download Freetrade. I've put a link in my description. If you download the app and deposit £10, you'll receive a free share worth the price of between £500 and £300. No, I think it's £200. But either way, like, you're winning. It's starting your investment on a positive note. So yeah, I want to thank you for watching this video, and yeah, have a blessed week.